So. But they couldn't hear you. Now they can hear you. Oh, we're such idiots. Woo! Guys, happy Monday. It's another Monday.
Yes.
Welcome in. If you want to get raw, get raw. Bring it up.
You
We're
only
going to
have
talk about
59
weenies
minutes.
today. So whatever a weenie is to you, I want you to put that in the raw. Be like, what's a weenie? In a personality, not an actual weenie. Not like a hot dog.
Oh, not an actual
Not like a
weenie?
penis.
Okay. I was just going to say dicks.
Dick corner.
Exactly. Dick corner.
But yeah, camera shots. There was something there. I was gonna say something. You what? Huh? What?
Camera shots?
Yeah.
Getting them?
Yeah.
The right camera shot?
I remember. And this just popped in my head right before we went live while we were talking about. Like, you know, the Cinecam.
Yeah.
What if you had preset buttons of nice shots and like setup thing? Like here's something that's
Here's spot
cool.
one.
You can also mess
that
with
what you're
you can also mess with the settings yourself.
Well, no.
But here's
Calm down. Can you lock it on the first idea first?
no. It's part of the same idea.
No, you click a button and what happens? You go to a set spot?
You go no, not like a camera shot, like a setting, Cinecam setting.
Presets.
Preset.
Like loadouts.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's
Well, yeah.
you don't make it yourself. It's just like, oh, do you like this one? You can use this one. Oh, do you
we
like
make
this one?
it for you.
Yeah. But then you can
Okay.
also have options to mess with them and then reset them. Like the default is that special Cinecam.
Oh, and then you can mess with the default.
And then you can mess with the default.
Got you.
But then
I
you
like
also
it.
have a clean one that you can just mess with from the beginning.
So it'd be like sepia.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or like
Blacklight.
Or like film grain.
Yeah. Wide shot.
Yeah. Pink.
That's all I
notifications.
have. I have like sepia, blacklight, and wide shot. Those are mine. Oh, actually, crap. I got a DM a few days ago of somebody who wanted freaking settings. Oh, damn it. I just put it off to the side and forgot about it. They're probably like,
Send
man, what
it.
an asshole. I have to take a picture.
Oh my god.
I had a picture saved and I lost it. I'm the weenie now.
Way to go, Paul.
Hey, sounds are supposed to be off. What's going on? Off.
Oh my god, dude. Did you see my tweet?
Which one?
I didn't even explain it. I just tweeted it. Or twoted it?
Twat.
Like past tense?
Twat. Twatted it. Oh yeah, the tilter one. What does that mean?
What is it? What do you think it means?
I liked Crump's response. Maybe there's an option to shoot marbles off the track.
See, like, there's only one person as of this morning who I thought thinks what I think.
Pulling the
But
trigger. Okay, so this looks like that. I mean, this looks like level 1, right? But you were messing with something that was continuous the other day, I think. So it's like, are you going to pull the trigger on releasing this next thing? Are you pulling the trigger on separating tilted and races? Are you pulling like, there's a lot of triggers that could be pulled.
There's no trigger in the image.
What are you sniping? Stream snipers. There's going to be tilted stream snipers. There's going to be, tilted royale.
No.
What?
Oh my god,
Then
dude.
people could stream snipe the
How can you not
royales.
figure this out?
Sniper game marble face. You're
If
a
somebody
weenie.
guesses it, I'm gonna give one layer of the Marble Fest ball if somebody guesses exactly what I meant by this tweet.
You heard it here first. He's okay, so it doesn't have anything to do with triggers.
JoJo is always around to see me when I'm sassy. I swear to God.
You're most sassy.
There. Oh shit.
Getting
We
rid of
got-
level 1 permanently?
There we go.
It's being
Finally.
blasted. Oh,
There,
well, I was on the
Golden,
right
you just
path. GG. Yo, Golden Tutorial just got a layer of the Marble
Just
Fest
got a
skin.
layer of Marble Fest.
Woo! GG's, dude.
Yeah, we did that yesterday. We set it up, and I think we're gonna do the 3-level difficulty change as well.
Nice. There you go, guys. 3-level difficulty change, blasting level. I was close. I said that looks like level 1.
Yeah, that's all you said.
Pull
It
the
does look
trigger
like
on
level
1. Pulling the trigger. All level 1s.
We're just doing level 1s over and over.
I still need to do a tilt off with Crump where we do 100 level 1s. Whoever does it the fastest wins. What do you think about that tilt off? That idea? Yeah, I know you hate it.
I like the Marble Fest or the
You're not even
the
listening
tilt off
to me.
ideas. I am
You're not
tilt
even
off.
listening to me.
Tilt off. I
Tilt
said the wrong
off.
thing because I was typing in Marble Fest. Come on.
So you start on level 2. That's right. There are no more level 1s.
No, level 1 becomes level 2.
Oh,
So
so
it is
you
level.
lied.
Listen, don't make me the bad guy here, okay? This is a good thing.
I'm excited. I'm excited personally because of how long I've been complaining. Not really complaining, I don't know. Just the fact that for me, tilting after 2-3 hours is like... So we'll see what this one does for me.
Well, I've known this for a long time. Like, if
Yeah.
you watch new people get into Tilted, some of them don't even realize that it's evolving over time.
Right.
Because it takes so long, and they're like, I'm done, right? So, yeah,
Yeah.
here we are.
It definitely takes time to build up the tilted skill.
I had
You know
Keg
what's...
Stand tried a level yesterday, like a high level.
Yeah.
That was funny. He was like, "What is this? Is this
It's
possible?"
Oh, it's possible. You know what's funny though? I was just thinking about it. Like early tilted was 2 balls. Like not so many, but some people got to really practice with like 2 balls. I think that helped me. That helped me in tilted.
Like maybe there should be controls to like how many marbles you need to get to the end. And like there could be some sort of difficulty multiplier based on that. Like almost like you're adding skulls in Halo.
Mm.
I'm sure somebody said this at some point and it's gone in my brain and come out 2 years later or something.
Right.
But like something like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I'm thinking of the evolution process, like the people have talked about in the past, like a tutorial of some sort for Tilted, right? To like, not necessarily practice, but you get like a feel for it before you don't feel so defeated after the first couple levels or whatever to make them quit, like you said.
Yeah. Like we could probably gamify it better and have the ending screen feel a little bit more progressional as opposed to like bleh information.
But like that's
right?
what I'm thinking with like those difficulties, I guess, that you brought up. Like you have a 1 ball difficulty with a certain amount of experience, and it's like, okay, sweet, I can get to level 20 with 1 ball. Let's try 2 balls now. You know, it could be this progression thing that might make people feel better about tilting, I guess.
Or
if
what if
new.
they suck with 1 and then they're just defeated?
All right. I guess there's that. I mean, like any
No,
game,
it's a good idea.
You get to a point where it's like you gotta practice to excel, right? Like every game, and that's a defeating point.
Yeah.
I've been there so many times. Like when I played League of Legends, you know, I was like super competitive. I got to a point where I'm like, I really have to like study all like so much stuff and like really practice if I'm gonna get to the next platinum or diamond or whatever the hell it is. And I was just like, man, sounds like a lot of work. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to play games. But
you do have time to play games. You just don't want to. You just don't want to put it into that game.
Right?
At the time,
Yeah.
right? Because like you're crushing Fortnite right now.
I would love to be the best at every game, but yeah, every game takes time.
You
like,
just need time, right?
Yeah, do 1 game or whatever.
Even coming back to Fortnite, right? Like recently, like it's taken me a little bit to like get back up, and even just to be able to shoot properly, right? Because it's a different feel for each game.
Yeah. Or it's like going back to grinding for marbles. Like I have to not necessarily relearn it, like if I'm going out and I'm trying to crank a bunch of races or whatever, but like to get into that momentum again takes a little bit of time.
Yeah, totally.
Every game's the same.
Every game's the same?
Yeah. Gotta practice.
Interesting.
Yeah. Even as a streamer on marbles, you should be practicing your cameras. I always say that. Practice those camera skills.
Yeah, I mean, you got so much time on your hands, right? You're like grinding. Might as well move the camera and just fiddle with it, right? Mm-hmm. I think Yeti's somebody who's done that consistently.
He does it constantly, too. Like, you know, I do camera shots here and there or whatever, but he's just always...
Right?
Yeah.
And you see the effects of that after, what, years of play, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's like... You can really specialize within a game if you really wanted to, right? And really hone in a skill. And then you just do that skill, like, crush it. And then the more you do that, you'll probably learn something else in hindsight, right? You're just like, oh, this layer's really well with this.
Mm-hmm.
You continue expanding, right? And then if you have this long-term vision, you know, just to go back to building and everything, if you have a long-term vision and long-term goals, like not 6 months, not a year, but years, you have these plans. When you're making incremental growth, it doesn't feel as slow when you have a long-term plan, right? 'Cause you know these things are just happening, and I think it feels much better.
I guess what slows it down is the want of the instant gratification. If you don't have a long-term goal and you're just like, I want it now.
Right, yeah. And then you don't get it, right? Because it's not going to happen. You're not going to become a pro camera person overnight. You're not going to become the best grinder overnight. You're not going to have the biggest community overnight.
Yeah.
So you got to like just dive into it slowly. And this is the incremental growth. It just has so much of an impact.
Yep. That's why you don't listen to the weenies.
You want to dive into the weenies?
Yeah, that's something I wanted to bring up today was just like, there's a lot of weenies that will attempt to hold you back from things you want to do. I actually have a story, if no one's heard the story of Spider-Man and Stan Lee. Because Stan Lee came up, his boss was like, hey, we need a superhero. So he came up with Spider-Man, who is different from all these other superheroes, you know, because it's Spider. The guy's like, nobody likes spiders. It's a kid with emotional problems. Nobody wants this as a superhero. A superhero is supposed to be whatever. Stan Lee was just like, well, okay. And then he put it in some like small little magazine and it blew up and like became this huge thing. You know, Spider-Man is what it is today or whatever. And if he had listened to his like boss, then Spider-Man might not be. So his boss was a weenie. And he went what he believed in anyways. It's like, I gotta push. I believe this, so I'm gonna get it out there.
Right.
That was a Stan Lee story. It's not my story.
But what impact does it have with weenies?
Well, like, if you're gonna listen to the weenies that try to tear you down on your ideas or say it's stupid or whatever, and you lean into that as opposed to being like, I believe at my core that this is a good idea, so I'm gonna keep pumping it.
Right.
Then you might never, if you listen to the weenies, you might never accomplish that, or at least give it a shot.
How do you find, like, what are the things that could impact you when being approached by a weenie?
You second
like
guess yourself, you know?
Okay.
You might think it's stupid. Someone else says, oh, this is stupid. You might think it's stupid too.
So how do you not gravitate to those opinions and stay on track?
You got to believe that it's a good idea in your core. Like, you can't let that stuff sway you. If you really think something is a good idea and you believe in it and you know, have fun with it or whatever, those are the two forces fighting each other.
Right.
Yeah.
So ensuring you build up your own, like, thought process as to why you're doing it is really important.
Yeah.
Because then you'll be able to fight against the weenies, right?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
in the end, it's just like naysayers, right? It's like the people,
Essentially.
anybody. It could be anybody. Your parents.
And this is just one category of weenie.
How many categories are there?
2 I know of. Maybe more. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, it could be anybody. Like, you know, family holds people back, even friends hold people back from pushing towards something, or just your own internal, like, I feel awkward doing this. Like, streaming can be really awkward. Anything in front of people. Any sort of idea that's like, you know, how many ideas do you see out there that are just so stupid, but you get a chuckle out of it, and other people do too, or whatever it might be.
Yeah.
It's just like so many people, I think, also, not only is it funny, so people watch it and, you know, interact with it or whatever, but they also have this sense of like, how could this person ever, like, how could anybody do this in public? How could anybody, like, that's crazy. Why would they do this? So it's like this other aspect of, you know, people are ashamed to be who they are in front of others for whatever reason. It's just how we are.
Well, because we're all weird, right? In our own way.
Mm-hmm. We all get judged by everybody, no matter what we do.
Yeah.
Whether it's good or bad. I love watching those types of videos of people just like, I'm the same way. Like, there's plenty of times where I'm watching somebody like be a goofball in public, and I'm like, man, I wish I could do that more. Just be myself.
In public. I mean, that's always a tough one, right?
Yeah. So am I the weenie?
You're partially a weenie.
Yeah.
But in a different way. You're a different category of weenie. No, I think we all are in our own ways, right?
Mm-hmm.
We can all like layer with the naysayers and just lean into it. It's easy.
It is.
Because it's a reason not to do. It's like, oh yeah, I don't need to do that. I'm not gonna do it well anyways, right? Or whatever your thought process is. It's easy to build on that.
Yeah.
And it's easy to stop yourself, yeah.
Yeah, and I guess just like, you know, weenies are always going to be talking about what you're doing. I don't know. Weenies are always going to be talking about what you're doing. And if you don't believe in what you're doing, then their talking is definitely going to, like, dig into your brain.
Oh, yeah. If you're reading it and consuming it.
Right.
That's another thing, right?
Which I guess goes into my next point of people always talking about it. Like when they're hit with a weenie. You know, when they're attacked by somebody in chat or in DMs or whatever, like, yeah, I love blasting assholes, but like, I think
great stance on a Monday morning.
Don't stop me. I was on a flow. I say things weird sometimes. I love publicly blasting assholes. That one didn't help at all.
No, didn't help at all.
Asshole people. I love seeing people call out others.
Right,
know?
Yeah.
Because I think they deserve it. Oh my God, I'm so lost right now. Jesus.
Well, you just said a huge statement that.
And I think, you know, maybe this is partially my fault because I can control what I see on like social medias and stuff. But I personally, I feel like I see too much people focusing on these idiots that are just trying to get a reaction from them anyway, or they're just mad at, they just don't like their content. The hate watchers, the haters in general, whatever. And they're giving these people all this attention. So it just keeps happening more and more and more and more. And yeah, I don't know. There's obviously cases as well. Sorry, what?
Like, does that reach a breaking point? And what is that?
For that person, or what do you mean?
Or any of the parties? Like, is there a breaking point if you continue going forward with that, like leaning into it?
I get sick of seeing it, so I stop looking. You know, I hit the little thing. I say, I don't want to see this stuff anymore. I don't want to see stuff like this anymore.
Right. So you think other people do that too?
Probably. But also, like, that shit sucks. I don't, being harassed sucks.
Right. Well, it's always happening, right, online?
Yeah. But I was going to say, there's also people out there, they don't do anything like that. They don't even interact with it at all. But then they get, there's different levels of these things. But, some people don't interact with it at all, and they get harassed like crazy for whatever.
Right. So the moral of the story is basically just avoid interacting with it and shaping your content around that.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people do it, and that's what they love doing. So I guess you do you, but ultimately I think it's going to hurt you. And it's like, if I were doing that all day, every day, that would just hurt my mental to like be constantly looking for the weenies and attacking them and blasting them or whatever.
There's a reason why like soldiers can't stay in fight or flight mode all the time, right? Like,
yeah.
You have to pull them off the line and let them cool down, because if you stay in an engaged format for a long period of time in that mental state, it can break you. So yeah, I'm totally on board. I think it's very important for you to not engage with the negativity and shape your content around it.
Yeah.
I think that's very important. A lot of people do it and think it's doing something positive, or it's taking a stand, right? Like you're making that stance. But are you?
Right.
Are you making a stance if that person wants you to engage with their with the words that they're saying?
Yeah, I always wonder if like that person that quote unquote got banned or whatever, or, like they were in the chat being an asshole and they got banned, like if they, they can go on Twitter, they can go on all these other social medias and see this stuff, and they're like,
yeah, talking about me.
Yeah, I'm gonna go make another account and do the same thing.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, man. You get a rise and you're like, holy crap, this person's shaping their entire stream around me right now.
Yeah.
What can I do to get a rise?
I think a pet peeve of mine is, I feel like sometimes my opinion on this, or people that have the same opinion, will get attacked. Like, oh, you don't care, don't you want these people to be dealt with and whatever. It's like, yeah, of course, but like, I'm just out here distracting people through entertainment. Like, I don't need to focus on that stuff. I don't know. Of course, I don't want that shit around. But I don't know. It's so tough, man. Like, I ask myself these questions sometimes, like, what can I do? But at the same time, like, we can do things. And I think maybe we're doing something now by talking about it and trying to make people aware that, for me, the best option is to just move on, ban them, whatever, like ignore the shit, just ignore it completely. Every once in a while, obviously, it'll get in my brain and I'll want to rant about it and call somebody a dick. But yeah, that full focus on it.
Well, I mean, if you really want to get crazy, like at some point, you're going to have a child, and that child might be young, and you might not be able to block or ban them.
Yeah.
They're going to be there screaming and yelling. What do you do, right? And I think that's sometimes can be considered the same thing that's going on online. Right? And sometimes just a little ignoring will help and take it a long way. Or sometimes just a big hug.
Sometimes I try to talk it out. I say, are you okay, man? You want to talk about it?
Yeah.
Sometimes I
everyone's going to deal with it in their own
works.
ways. I think the biggest thing is just, if you're on a path and you're creating content, be aware, be cognizant of what engaging with these people will do to you, right? And to your content and to your community, right? Are those people looking to be a part of your community? And if not, why would you engage with them and draw them in? Right?
Engage with the people that are already in.
Yeah.
Or that seem interested.
But I also think
sense.
It comes from a place of like the boys club a little bit, quote unquote boys club. I'm not really trying to say like boys, right? But when that club, the inner circle forms, right? That happens a lot on streams. That inner circle will turn into like a very defensive circle, as opposed to a welcoming circle. And I think that's also a shift in a community, is when you become defensive as a community it's very challenging to grow because everything is perceived as an offensive attack or an offensive against your community. Because once you're in defensive mode, you're always ready to fight. And you see mods like that a lot, right? Mods that come into power early on in the community, they come in a defensive stance as opposed to like a welcoming stance. Like they're just there as a Walmart door greeter. I think that's like a better layering to what a mod needs to be as opposed to a defensive like security guard at the door.
Yeah, I was gonna say. Security guard just stands there.
Yeah, and some people will look at that. Well, Walmart greeters like not important, right, in the company, but I think the opposite. I think it's very important.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have a problem. I like going in and being like, hey, you know?
Well, I mean, it's just different tactics, right?
Yeah.
But it's a better tactic than just a security guard standing there. And I think that's a lot of problems in smaller communities, or just challenges. It doesn't even have to be a problem. It's a challenge. It's a unique growth in the community. You come across a new challenge of growth, and it's like, okay, you've reached this point. Now you're going to start getting more people coming in. How are you going to deal with that? You're going to put up shields, or are you going to put out a welcoming mat? Because even if somebody shits on your doorstep on the welcoming mat, you can wash that. Right?
It's true.
But if you attack like somebody coming in and you bump them away with a shield and they get a little bit of a bruise on the way out, maybe that they won't come back. But in the end, it's up to you to decide whether that person belongs in your community or not. If you truly believe that they don't, then take your stance.
It's weird going from one stream where the streamer mods and main community members seem to completely ignore you say anything. Yeah, I've been in those, you know.
Like what, ignored as anybody or what?
Yeah, just like popping into a new stream and like you say hi or something and just like ignored, I guess, by everybody.
Oh. Yeah. I feel like that's when the inner circle forms. Like that's...
Right. Like, yeah, I mean, mods and VIPs should be greeting people and being friendly, you know? Like, that's how streams grow.
Yeah.
Because the streamer can't do it all every time.
It's the culture of teaching.
Yeah.
A lesson is one form of a welcoming mat.
Yep. Yeah, first impression, exactly. If you go in, I mean, first 10 seconds are like brutally important to a first time streamer, it seems like. So. Yeah, and the weenie thing is relatable to you with the people telling you that marbles isn't a game or not getting a category on Twitch or whatever. Like, that was a whole struggle.
Oh, yeah. There's been so many journeys, dude.
Where it's just like you have to tell these, or you have to say, okay, these people don't believe in me. I'm going to keep going, though. Like,
exactly, yeah. And we spent a lot of time putting energy in fighting that battle, which wasn't needed. Right? We should have just... It's a lesson. It's another good lesson, but we should have just moved on and said, all right, another hurdle in the way, but we'll keep going. And we did once we like figured it out, but it was like there was a battle that didn't need to happen because they made their stance, right? Like I was even told by a marketing company that marbles is not marketable. So it's like there's always going to be the people who don't want to participate and think what you're doing is shit, right?
And they'll tell you about it.
Oh yeah.
They will tell you about it. So yeah, I don't know. These are a lot of things that have, I guess, been going through my head this past week.
Has it impacted you at all? Is there a moment of like clarity coming from this?
Yeah.
A lesson to be learned, something to pass on, other than just don't listen.
Just got to pump what I believe to be fun and entertaining, and the things that I've have all these things in my brain that I need to let out, and it's just like I just got to do it and let it out.
Right.
Because I like second guess myself, and I worry about the weenies, and it's like it doesn't even matter.
Yeah. Hey, just get back to building.
Yeah.
Perfect advice.
Yeah, to connect with last week. It's just like just build, just go. Like, but it's not like I'm not building, I've got all these projects coming up or whatever, so like I told you, I have like this explosion ready. I'm ready. I'm ready to explode. Blast
good,
ass.
It's the best, dude.
Yeah.
And these are like moments of growth as well, right? Like encountering these challenges, accepting them, learning through them, right? And then coming out the other side and being like, okay, now I understand this.
I think it's like a hurdle or like a plateau that we talk about that I'm like right at the edge of it. Like I feel like maybe I've been on a plateau for a while in terms of what I really need to do, what I want to do, whatever. So like I've been trying all these different things and building all these different things. Some go away, some stay, whatever. Some evolve, and it's just like, it's at I'm feeling that point of like the next plateau.
The next growth cycle.
Yeah.
Awesome, dude.
So, but I mean, like anything else, it's going to take work. So it's like just staying on that work, keeping building, screw the weenies, pump.
Yeah, man. I mean, like, so recently we've, an opportunity came up. I'll try not to give too many specifics, but essentially we've had to stop our server rewrite and the multi-platform expansion for like YouTube and Facebook and delay it because we have a possible better integration coming. So like, I think that's just something to like take into account is like when you're building, you'll come up with hurdles, unique hurdles, and you'll have like paths, like fork paths of like what to do. And you don't know what the right answer is, right? But you just have to assess it and go. Instead of just sitting there at the fork being like, what should I do? So yeah, in turn, like just an example is like we've had this massive delay because it's going to delay that system for like probably 8 months to a year. So like that's a massive hit.
Yeah.
But the things that'll come from that are good. So once again, just going back to that long-term vision idea is like we're on a long-term path anyways. So a short-term hit's not a big deal as long as we can survive through it.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah. Got to pump through it. So I like the long-term goal, You really do have to have like create these, I mean, short-term along the way and, one long-term. Because I think having one long-term can sometimes discourage you. Like you also have to have those short goals along the way.
Well, the long-term goal, you don't want to make like a massive plan target of like,
I want to be a billionaire.
Yeah, like I think those are they're too grand of statements to make. But I want to be like a multitude better of where I'm at now. I want to be taking care of my team better, like ensuring that whatever benefits and all this stuff. Like these are the kinds of goals like to achieve long term. I guess that's the kind of stuff I'm chasing is like just being able to take care of my ecosystem better, the people who are involved. Because what I know is that people who are taken care of better will do better work and will be happier and live better lives. So that's what I chase, at least with the PvP ecosystem, right? Is like everybody involved, hopefully, can create a career out of this and be happy and move forward. And always learning, right? So yeah, like stuff like that I think is more valuable than just I want to be rich or whatever, right?
Happiness is a good goal.
It's a huge goal, man. It's huge. Like no matter how successful you get in terms of financials, I don't think the success truly hits until you're happy.
For sure.
And that comes with just like your satisfaction in what you're doing, right? And that's that is freaking challenging, man. Like to truly find what you're engaging with and being like, I can do this for the rest of my life, keep growing this and building it out and heading on this path. Like I love it. And really assessing what you're doing at the time, right? If it's really bad for you, if you're really unhappy, I think it's even if you're going to take a financial hit, I think it's more valuable to cut the ties from the negativity in your life than to push through it for whatever reason, to have a house or whatever, right? Whatever you're looking to get out of it, I think it's so important to just ensure that happiness is first.
Yeah. It's really hard. It's really hard for people to do that, man. To push that shit aside that is really eating them up and making them unhappy. Like getting it out of their life.
Yeah. It's challenging. Because you might be hooked on it, right?
I think a lot of people, it's their families too. Like, it's so hard to get rid of
yeah, like there's a certain family member that's always like just
like a toxic or whatever. That's the worst. Being stuck in a family situation like that, but yeah. Brutal. But it's doable. People have done it.
Absolutely.
And I think that's the, like you said, sometimes it's a lot of hardship when you make that decision to like push that negative out of your life. But like ultimately, the shit that I've done to push the negative out of my life has ultimately made me happier. Like, yeah, it was hurtful moments along the way, but it was for the better, the greater good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally. And I think also just a layer with this, like the naysayers may come in and it might not even be about something you're doing. It's about the times that you're going through, right? Like, like the economy might be having challenges, or your personal life or finances or whatever, right? Some people will like come in during those times and just be negative to you, not necessarily about something specific. And it could like they're just in pain from the same situation, right? Mm-hmm. They're just expressing it, and then it's easy to bring everybody down because of it. Mm-hmm. But you got to realize that when you're a builder, when you're building your ecosystem, building your community, is that building during the down times is as important as building during the top times, the up times, right? Is noticing that you're at the bottom of a market or whatever, you're in a growth cycle, at the bottom of a growth cycle, and you might be seeing like huge impact to viewership, interaction, or whatever across your ecosystems. If you stop during that time, the last few people who are supporting you, or the active people who are supporting you during that time, will stop as well. So if you want your community to exist, you have to be the one building even when nobody else is. And that is hard. Because when nobody else is building, there's nothing to be motivated by. Right? When you're surrounded by people building, you generally get motivated.
Right.
Because you're like, oh, damn, this guy's killing it. This person's killing it. She's killing it behind, like, whatever, right? Everybody around you is kicking ass. Yeah. And you're like, well, shit, I might as well kick ass too, right?
Yeah, but if everyone around you is wallowing, then you're going to wallow too.
Yeah. So I think that's something very important to, like, be aware of. Because I think we're coming, or at least we're in a phase like that.
Pixel is coming. Marble Fest is coming. Yeah, man. We are.
Right? So, yeah, just be cognizant of these things and just keep pushing forward. It's so important. And whatever you believe in, right? If you really believe that the ecosystem you're in is like really dying out, leave it, right? Whatever it is. If you're truly like, if you're streaming marbles and you're like, yo, this is dead, I'm done, right? It's best to create that separation and go your own way, because you've already made that decision that it's done, right? Mm-hmm. Or whatever game it is, whatever you're doing. If you've stopped believing in the ecosystem, you won't be able to build for the ecosystem.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Good stuff. What are your thoughts on / are you happy with how many people have hit 20K points so far?
I don't micro track it.
Last I checked, it was around 50th places up there. I don't know anymore. There's probably more people now, right?
Yeah. I mean, like, for me, I get happy when people are engaging with it. And I see people talking about it, engaging with it, and racing more, even if it's a tight-knit amount of people. I mean, that's what it's designed for, right? Who knows about Gemrons? Where is it advertised? Nowhere. Right? All you do is see them in the game, but nobody knows anything about them other than the community. So, like, this was designed as a community engagement celebration, I guess.
Yeah.
Right? We updated the Gemrons. Here's, like, more to go for. Like, Finish is just crushing it and just pushing us, right? So it's really good. So I was just like, hell yeah, like, let's do this. And even if it only hit a small group of the community, I'm happy because we're rewarding the people who are engaging with the game at a high level. Like 20K is a lot of points.
It is.
Because when I did it,
I probably won't end up with it.
Sorry?
I said I probably won't end up with it.
Yeah.
I was trying to at first, but I don't know. Too much shit going on, you know?
It's a lot. It's a lot to chase, right?
Yeah.
But there's a lot of people who race a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like for them because we've been going for season after season top 50, right? And last season I think it was the 100th person was at 17K experience, I think, if I remember correctly. So I wasn't even targeting the top 100 of last season, right? So I was just thinking, okay, well, I'll set it a high bar right now. We'll put 3 Gemron points and see how it feels. And worst case scenario, it's going to reward the people who play the game a crap ton.
Mm-hmm.
And it is. So yeah, I'm happy with it. And I want to do more with it. I actually love the idea. I love how the community's engaging with it. I like how everybody is kind of participating. Obviously, if you work and you got stuff in the way, you can't, right? And maybe that'll equal... We had that discussion already of like bringing it down, right? It's like, what point will it make you engage? What point at what point level for racers will a large portion of the community engage with it?
Yeah.
Right?
So maybe have different levels too or something.
Well, I'm just playing with it right now to see kind of what we're doing.
Yeah.
So maybe next season we'll do, I don't know, a point for 10,000, right? And see how that feels. So now, you know, how many engage with that. I also got to take into account that we're rolling into the summer. Summer is usually quieter for marbles. So if we still get decent engagement during those seasons, then I know it's a success.
Yeah.
And then we can play with it in future seasons and just go, okay, whenever we do this kind of event, we can layer with it and do this.
Well, and I'm thinking even something like that, even just getting 10,000 experience, like that's still a decent amount, but like you could potentially for a month, you know, hang out, do your summer day thing, and then come roll all night. And then, you know, have that kind of, and probably still be able to get a point if that's something you wanted to do or whatever. So it wouldn't be like too much even during the summer times. Just depending on, I guess, how people do their summers. But yeah.
Yeah, man. We could also do something like, yeah, we could just play with it. Like, it's really easy to play with at this point and just try stuff. I mean, I'm getting to the point where once we get into this new system, we'll be able to do some more intuitive things that we don't have to worry about bots as much. Right? That's always been my concern with putting too much emphasis on racing a lot, is because eventually, if we put enough there, it'll just be a crazy amount of bots.
Yeah.
Right? And I don't want that to become a thing, even though there's always some out there. So.
Yep. Always going to be some bots.
Yeah. It's just a challenge, man. Like, no matter where you go, there's bots, right? Like, just to nibble at the NFT space. Like, when there's mints going on, when somebody's minting an NFT, like, bots come in and just sometimes will just eat up all the mints. And it's like, and then regular people don't get a chance to play, right? And there's always complaining about that. So it's not just here, it's everywhere, man. Like, automation is just coming into the world at a high rate, and it's impacting everything. Like, even in Twitter's Elon's purchase, he's talking about cutting out all automation in Twitter, right? And cutting out down the bots. And I know there's very smart tactics to doing that, layering with crypto, and I'm curious if he's going to do something like that or if he has a new plan. But yeah, like bots are a super big challenge, but it's fun to design around them. It's fun to try and like defeat them in a right in your own little way.
We have to, otherwise they take over the world.
Exactly, dude. And then Skynet, and it's over.
Yeah,
the Terminator's coming in and blowing your brains out.
Exactly. We don't want that.
Yeah, how can we close this off on a positive note?
I got two things here real quick. Any thoughts on Dust? Dust, I don't know, updates on Dust or
Dust, we had a design session over the weekend. I want to say like 2 to 3 months. Ooh. If everything goes well. It's going to be freaking sweet, dude.
Nice.
Like we're going to hit the notes and it's going to be addictive. It's going to be like a slot machine. You're going to like want to play it all day. You're going to be like, why aren't there more marble days? I need more dupes. I'm telling you.
I need more dupes.
Yeah, dude. The complaints are going to be completely different and I'm going to love them because I'm going to be like, see? No, but it's going to be fun, man. Like my goal, this is my goal with that system is I'm trying to make it where even somebody like me who's been around the game from the start is going to get excited about it. And that's what I'm trying to do.
Hell yeah.
Because I freaking love our long-term players, man. Like people who've been around for years, like it's starting to become like this. I don't know, man. Like it's like a championship belt you're wearing around your waist, right?
Yeah.
Right? Because like we're in like year 5 of marbles now,
and
it's just like we're here, baby. And there's some people like are like, I'm still here, baby. Like,
yeah.
You see Kibble streaming, right? And you're just like, holy crap, right? You see people like Rec popping around the community, Susie, like just so many people.
Yeah.
And you're just like, these people have been around us for years at this point.
Yeah.
And just know shit, right? And the history.
Yeah.
And it motivates me to make the Hall of Marbles better and the brain layer, just to keep diving into that. Speaking about the brain layer, like strange tangent, diving into that and just I told him one day, I was like, if this keeps going, if I keep leaning into this a little bit every year, right? And just keep adding to it, you are going to be in a very unique power position.
Oh yeah.
Because you are going to have every single piece of information that this game mode has.
Yeah, nobody else.
And nobody else is going to know, right?
Yeah.
And it's going to be pay to enter, right? Because it takes a PvP coin. So like the community there is going to be so tight knit, and I hope that part of the community is like the long-term people, the people who've been around for a very long time and get to celebrate that. And that's kind of what that space is. It's like a celebration of like being around and just all the skins that load, right? Like you have everything to play with. Yeah, like I'm thinking about NFTs has opened my eyes to some really fun stuff we could do without NFTs, without crypto, right? But with the theories behind it. Right? And yeah, just asking the question, just hearing the question more of like, why don't you do this without NFTs? Or, you know, can you do this without NFTs? And you start thinking, okay, how can we do it without it? Right? And then we can build it in later if people want it. So yeah, I'm evolving so much, man. And I'm very appreciative of the long-term people in the community. And like I said, like mending bridges that I've burnt in the past and trying to bring everything back together and breathing life back in this community that I've like, you know, I've neglected over the past 8 months, I'd say, just learning, right? Like I've been around and just absorbing information and playing in different spaces and just learning about communities and all the different stuff, all the different tools we have at our fingertips to build for them. Because there are so many tools. Right? If you're not creative, there's something there to fill that hole. If you don't know what to do with games or interaction, like there's stuff to do. Right? So and I'm learning. I'm even still learning at these tools. Yeah, man. Like there's just so much. And yeah, I just want to keep.
It's crazy because like there's so many things that I like to do in marbles, and there's still more that I'm not like into, but there's still more to do, and I'm like, it's crazy.
Yeah, man. I love it, dude. And it's really motivating to keep building and to know that regardless of whether I have a downtime or a hiccup in my brain or anything like that, is the community's there to still support us and keep pushing us forward.
Hell yeah.
And keep challenging us, right? And keep asking questions. And
yeah,
without
keep breaking
that,
the
we're
game
nowhere.
and keep creating and coming up with fun ideas and cranking their faces off and just everything, collecting the virtual sack.
Yeah, man. And the rev share, dude, I'm so excited for that. It's really close. The team's been kicking ass with it.
Hell yeah.
We got a partnership coming up. We'll have some assets that'll be a part of a special bundle for that launch. And then I'm take this with a grain of salt, but I'm about 90% sure on this. Everybody with 100,000 experience global total ever collected will be onboarded into the tier 1 program, which will be a 10% rev share with their creator code of all coin purchases through the new platform. Just to be clear on that, it's not through like Steam, it's through the new platform.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you have over 1 million XP global experience as a streamer, right, you will be upgraded to a 20% tier. And we're talking about a 30% tier, which will probably be manual onboarding, so we'll bring special people closer to that tier. But the first two will be automated. So we're trying to just create a clear, transparent system that everybody can participate in if they want to.
Right.
And that's it. But yeah, I'm super excited about that. Like,
hell yeah.
It doesn't matter. Like, I'm trying not to make it about viewership, even though our XP system is based off viewership. But even if you have a small community, you'll be able to work towards those goals. It may take longer, but you can still hit it. It's not like Twitch where it's like, you just got to have the viewership, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Hell yeah.
There's a lot coming. I'm super excited. We're not, trust me, the team, if at anything, they're working at a higher pace now than ever. And we're just fine tuning how we're doing things. We're talking more and creating tasks and using these higher level tactics that we haven't used before. And it's taken time to learn that stuff. Yeah, man. I guess that's like a little quick blurb of what's coming. And
love it.
And you'll be fully informed once that system comes, and you'll be made sure you can share it with the community and how it works and what to do. It's like,
love it,
beauty, dude.
Yeah.
And yeah, just thanks to the community for being patient with us. Like, it's been 4 years, and it's so cool to still have things that I'm excited about to launch.
Yeah.
And Marble Fest,
yeah,
right?
It's
like
tough because people always want answers, right? Which, like, we give it to them, but it always has to do with time, man. It always has to do with time. So it's just like it's we got to be a patient ecosystem around the marbles environment.
Yeah.
But I mean, I don't think you ever like let people down. I mean, I don't feel like I've been let down with anything that you've said that hasn't come or does. You know, it's like you always deliver something.
Try to.
Yeah.
But I can understand frustrations throughout the community.
Definitely. So. I mean, timing stuff is frustrating in general. Especially if something's really affecting you and it's like, this would change my life around marbles. And it's like, I know it's coming, but it's like, when? So.
Yeah.
I don't know how much further you want to go. Enders says, any thoughts on the sale of Twitter to Elon might mean for content creators?
Everything I've observed about Elon Musk and his intentions, I don't think it's anything to be concerned about. If anything, it's just Twitter's going to become a more open platform if he takes over, in my opinion. And there'll be a shift, and there's going to be a lot of noise for a little bit. But I just don't see ill intentions coming from him. I don't see it. And I know people can find stuff about him that they don't like, but I just don't see it. I mean, he's been fighting against like people being silenced for their opinions for a while. That's not new.
Right.
So it tells me like if he's going to take over Twitter, I think his intentions are to clear things up, you know, and maybe the people you don't like are going to get unbanned. Probably. Right. And if that's the case, then I don't know. I don't know what to say to you. Like, I hope that there's a platform in the future that everybody's able to speak on freely to express their opinions, even if somebody's offended, because I think an open dialogue in this world is more important than a closed dialogue. And that's something I've learned over the years.
It's really hard for people to see others' opinions, man. It just really is.
It's very tough, man. It's very, mostly when it attacks something you're passionate about.
Yeah.
It's extremely challenging. But at least over the past few years of me being online, I just think it's important that wherever we're all talking, that we can all talk. All humans can talk. And we can attack bad opinions. We can attack the opinion, right? And not the person. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, we could go on forever, but if you silence everybody, then then the majority of everyone can't see what this person's doing and like rally and be like, yeah, the majority of the population doesn't like what your opinion, like whatever,
Yeah.
But yeah, everyone's got an opinion on this too, so it's like it's just fucked. Everything's fucked.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, that's my stance on it. That's what I've observed, and I think overall it's good intentions.
Real quick, have you thought about doing a Pixel or Spooo crypto coin? No.
I mean, there's a PvP coin out there that I have, I think, 1 trillion in my wallet or something stupid like that. But it's not for sale. It's not available to anybody. It's just in my wallet. Actually, I made it twice because I messed up. So nice. I deployed the contract twice. So I actually have like 2 billion or something. It's some stupid number.
Nice.
Anyways, yeah, no plans, no expectations, like nothing. I'm still learning a lot about the ecosystem. I want to integrate into NFTs into our ecosystem, but I'm aware that people don't like it. And
it's funny. I
want to do it in a way that just, if you want to engage with it, you can. But if you don't want to, you're not forced to. So that's my stance on it.
I haven't seen we talked about this when we talked about NFTs like 2 weeks ago or something, but like I've never seen so much hate on NFTs up until recently. Is it because like I'm talking about it more? Even though I'm not even talking about it?
There's more content creation on YouTube, like really from a negative standpoint with it. Like extremely negative. And there's a collection of people highlighting all the bad projects, like the worst of the worst, right? So it's like highlighting all the criminals in society and being like, yo, look how bad people are. We should just get rid of the rest of the humans and put them all in jail. Right? It's that context. And it's like, we've already gone through this. Like, we have laws in society and things that we abide by, right? Mm-hmm. So the platform doesn't change anything. It's like those laws still exist. If you do something evil and you do something against the law, you are going to pay the consequences, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I find it interesting, all the hate towards that ecosystem, but I understand when there's so many influencers and we understand everything over the past 2 years regarding COVID, fucking like all that stuff. I don't want to mention it all because there's so much that is very like divisive amongst humans these days, right? So it's like, what exactly are we trying to achieve?
Yeah.
By demonizing these things and not just looking at them objectively, right? And it's like the environment argument with NFTs and stuff. It's like, oh, it's terrible for the environment. It's just a grand statement about everything.
Right.
But yet there's chains that are operating that are like one that I've done a lot of research in is Wax, right? Because we're close to thinking about that platform. But it's like Wax does it's like the equivalent of 5 humans in the world every year. That blockchain. So it's like, really? So we're demonizing the entire ecosystem because one chain does things a certain way?
I mean, just look at most corporations or even driving automobiles or whatever. Everything's so bad for the environment. It's like you got to work towards there's better companies coming out and dealing. There's avenues, right? Like cars, you could drive a Hummer if you wanted to, and that's like the worst for the environment. Or you can go get an electric car, which still isn't great for the environment, but it's better than a Hummer. So it's like you can go to this crypto, which is like shitty for the environment, or you go to this crypto. It's like the same thing, right? So why aren't?
Because we're observing them differently. We're observing them as non-companies, right? Some people are thinking that a crypto, because somebody makes a crypto, they're not a company. They're not allowed to be a company, right? So it's like, but they're just companies. And I think that's also a problem in the crypto space is people don't perceive themselves as a company. Very similar to streamers. Very similar. It's a growing ecosystem. It hasn't fully matured yet. So when people click the go live button, they're not 100% thinking that they're building a business. But they're building a business.
Right.
Are you actively going towards affiliate? Why? To get a sub button? You're building a business.
Yeah. Pretty much.
So it's like
you're gonna sign a contract. But you know, some
Yeah.
people don't, but I think that's pretty few.
it's pretty rare that somebody's not going for affiliate to get a
Right.
sub button, right? Some people say emotes, but in the end, if you turn that sub button on and you accept subs and you put a notification up, you're accepting subs. Like you're building a business.
Right. Going off what we just said, and we got to get going. But I was on Twitter. There's some NFT posts, and like there's some comments on there that are just like, man, I wish I could stop seeing so much NFT stuff on my timeline. It's like, what are you commenting on it? You're commenting on it. What are you doing?
Mute it. Yeah, exactly.
People don't realize they have this power, man. I don't get it. They just want it to like disappear from the world. Like they want to fight against it, right? I guess it's like silencing others that have really shitty opinions or opinions that most of the world are like, you are an evil person.
Yeah.
But like, just, I don't know.
I think we're getting there. I think it's slowly happening.
Yeah.
People are being converted and seeing the truth. And that's the end, man. Is like, pay attention because a lot of people are hiding the truth. Even when we say stuff, take it with a grain of salt. Unless you see official announcements and like, I'm saying like this is happening next season or something. Unless that's happening, take it with a grain of salt and think that it's just a rumor.
Yeah.
I'm just creating conversation. I like a lot of the time I like to say things and see reactions from the community and see what people think, right?
Oh yeah.
And like draw out the opinions and yeah, unless it's coming, it's not done yet.
Yep. Did you explain the tweet about the target on the tilt board? Yeah, I guess getting rid of level 1.
Yeah.
There it is.
We're getting rid of level 1. Level 1, no points. It doesn't exist anymore. That's official.
Sweet.
And then, I'm gonna go to 3 levels difficulty. I think. If not, it's gonna be 4. It'll be 3 or 4, based on how big my balls are.
There you go.
So, Tilt will get interesting next season. I have a feeling that will reduce the amount of experience / points that the ecosystem's paying out, because people aren't going to be like hanging out in lower difficulties as long.
Right.
So if that happens, and there's less like output, will we need to adjust that? Possible. So
we'll see.
If you really hate it, just be patient. I'll notice it. I'll notice it. Don't worry.
He will. Guys, thanks for coming out to Raw. Thanks for listening. Pixel, thank you as always.
Yeah, man.
Don't be a weenie. Don't focus too much on the weenies. It's only going to bring you down. Focus on what you believe in. Charge forth and build. And go give Cam on the Cobb some love, baby.